এ দূর থাকলে দেখা যায় তো না, এমনি থাকলে আইব তো দেখা যায় কেমন।
Do, sir. You just talk. Talking to the students.
Okay, hello students, good afternoon. I think all of you are at home, all of you are fine. After a long time we will be taking your class, so I think all of you are be doing fine for this class and other subject also. And for class 9, all of you will be having your final exam in month of November, so you have to do the whole syllabus also for other subject and maths class also. So today I'll be starting with this chapter, that is trigonometrical ratio. Now first of all I'll be giving you some formulas, so let me draw this. Triangle, so this is A, B, C. So this what type of triangle? This is a right angle triangle, because there is one angle is 90 degree. So if you take this triangle, then if you consider this angle C as theta, then this side AB, it will be perpendicular. Because this is 90 degree with BC, then you can take this one as a base, then this is the hypotenuse. AC is the hypotenuse. Now first of all, how will find out that perpendicular and the base? Now perpendicular will be the just opposite to that angle theta, that side in the triangle, that is right angle triangle, just opposite to the angle theta, and the longest side will be the hypotenuse, and the side which will be making the angle with the hypotenuse, then this will be the base. So let me repeat it again. If you take a right angle triangle, then say this is the side AB perpendicular to BC. So AB will be the perpendicular, because this angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree, and BC is the base, and the longest side will be the hypotenuse. Now how will you find out the perpendicular and the base from a given right angle triangle? Now if you see this angle theta is given here, now the side opposite to this angle theta, it will be the perpendicular. So AB will be the perpendicular, and the longest side of the right angle triangle, it is known as the hypotenuse, and the side which will be making the angle theta with the hypotenuse, then this side will be the base. I think it's clear to you. Now from here, from this right angle triangle, we can find out some ratios. These are known as trigonometrical ratios. Now first of all, I'll give you some formula. First one is sin theta. Actually it is SINE, but in short we used to write it down SIN, but you have to spell it out as sin theta, not sin theta. So this is given by perpendicular by hypotenuse. The ratio is perpendicular by hypotenuse, that is P by H. Now if you go for the another ratio, that is cos theta. Actually this is full form is cosine theta, but in short it is written as cos theta. So for this one you have to find out by this ratio by taking base and hypotenuse, base by hypotenuse. This will be the cosine theta, or in short cos theta. The next, tan theta, that is if you take the ratio of perpendicular and base. So this is, you can write down as short, that is P by B. P means perpendicular, B means the base. Now if you take the reciprocal of this sin theta, it will be cosec theta. So what will be the ratio? It will be just reciprocal. That means hypotenuse will be coming in the numerator, a perpendicular will be in the denominator. So cosec theta, that is equal to hypotenuse by perpendicular. I think it's clear to you. The next we'll go for sec theta, that is the ratio of hypotenuse by base. So it will be hypotenuse by base. So it will be just reciprocal of cos theta. Sec theta is reciprocal of cos theta. Okay. Then next, cot theta. Cot theta will be reciprocal of tan theta, that is base by perpendicular. So I think it's clear to you that if you take the reciprocal of sin theta, you will get the cosec theta. If you take the reciprocal of cos theta, you will get the sec theta. And if you take the reciprocal of tan theta, you will get the cot theta. So this is the main formulas for this chapter. Now from this formula, you can find out the other formulas also. If you take that Pythagoras theorem. I think you got it. Now let's take the Pythagoras theorem from this diagram only. If you take the Pythagoras theorem, now according to the Pythagoras theorem, if you take the sum of the perpendicular square and base square, it will be the that total of that hypotenuse square. So it is given by p square plus b square equal to h square. I think it's clear to you. So this is known as the Pythagoras theorem. Okay. Now from here you can find out the other relation. Now for example, if I take perpendicular square, if I divide by a square, then this b square by hypotenuse square, that is equal to a square by a square. Now p by h, that means p by h whole square. P square by h square means p by h whole square plus b by h whole square means b square by a square, or reverse you can say b square by a square equal to b by h whole square, then a square by a square, it will be 1. Now from here what will get? P by h. If you just see the previous formula I have given, that is perpendicular by hypotenuse, you can get the ratio, that is sin theta whole square means sin square theta. Now base by hypo, if you take the ratio, you will get what? Cos theta. So it will be cos square theta, that is equal to 1. So this way you can get this relation between that square of that sin square and cos square theta. So that sum will be equal to 1. Similarly, you can find out the other formula also, that is related formula with the square of their ratios. Now if you want to take that for tan theta and sec theta, there is some relation is there. Now for tan theta, it will be perpendicular by base. So if you divide the left hand side and the right hand side by b square, now what will get? P square by b square plus b square by b square, that is equal to a square by b square. Now if you take this p square by b square, you can write p by b whole square, and this b square by b square, that is 1, it will be cancelled out. Now a square by b square, hypotenuse by base, it will be h by b whole square. Now perpendicular by base, if you take, it will be 10, it will be 10 square theta plus that is 1, that is equal to hypo by base, that one will be hypo by base, that will be sec square theta. So like this you can find out the ratio, that is tan square theta plus 1, that is equal to sec square theta. So I think it's clear to you how will you find out that relation between the this square of that ratios. Now this is all about, means one more formula is there, that is similarly you can find out cot square theta plus 1. Yeah.
Some names are there.
Yeah.
You can ask them.
Yes, sir. Just drop from here and ask. Did you understand?
Oh.
Sriya, Serin, Shubham, Rupini.
Have you understand this Shubham and all? Have you got it? How we find out that this one, that relation between the all the ratios? You can find out the other ratios also similar way. This is the that formulas one only formula, how it is coming, just explaining. Divor, can you understand it? Okay, now let's go for the next, that is from exercise 20a. will be 20a will be doing some numericals from there. So let's go for that exercise 20a. These are the formulas given in the book also, so you'll just see it and you will memorize it. You can apply in your sum or numerical problem to solve out the problems. Now exercise 20a. Exercise 20a, question number 1. You see in your book, question number 1. Let me just draw the first diagram. You can see the first diagram. All of you have the book, textbook. You see the first diagram. This angle is x. This is q. Then this is perpendicular, and this is given actually perpendicular or whatever it is. We'll find it out later on. Now let's just see, this is p given. This known thing that this is perpendicular, just p only. This is q and this is r. Only those letters are given actually, and but you have to find out which one is the perpendicular, which one is the base, and which one is the hypotenuse. Now already I have told that how to find out the perpendicular, base and hypotenuse from the given diagram. Now first of all, you see the longest side from this diagram, from that right angle triangle, which is the longest side. So you can just mark it, this one as a say, okay, just you can mark it this vertex also, or if you do not mark it also, it will do. So this will be the hypotenuse. This is the longest side. This is the hypotenuse. Now the side opposite to the that angle, given angle. What is the given angle here? X. X is the given angle here. So you will just see that given angle. Now which is the side opposite to this angle? So this is the side opposite to this angle. So it will be the perpendicular. Is that clear? The side opposite to the given angle, it will be the perpendicular, and the third side which will be making the angle, that given angle with the hypotenuse, that will be the base. Now whenever you get these diagrams, first of all you find out which one is the perpendicular, which one is the base, and which one is the hypotenuse. So that is the first work, because without that you cannot find out that given ratio. Now I'll just taken this diagram, then I'll just show it, and the rest you will just try at home. Then
Johnny Tripura cannot understand the formula.
okay, now let me just go a little bit go back. That is about the formula. Actually these formulas are given in the book only, but still then I'm just explaining how the formulas are coming. So what I have done previously, just let me just draw this diagram here. So this is A, B, C. This was the diagram, that one I have taken before. Now, so what I told, that the longest side, it will be the hypotenuse. Then the side opposite to this given angle, what is the given angle here? Theta. So what is the opposite side? That is AB. So there is the perpendicular. I think it's clear to you, Johnny. Now the third side will be the base. Once you find out the hypotenuse, perpendicular, then the third side will be the base. Is it clear? So that depends on this angle theta, which will be the perpendicular, which will be the base. Suppose this theta is here with that angle A, then this will be the perpendicular and AB will be the base. So it will be changing. So according to that angle only, the base and perpendicular will be changing. So that is very important, that you have to understand from that given diagram which one is the perpendicular and which one is the base. Then only you can go for those formulas. So now if you go for that Pythagoras theorem, so in the Pythagoras theorem, actually that is AB square plus BC square equal to AC square. This is the Pythagoras theorem. Now actually what is the Pythagoras theorem? If you take the sum of the square of the perpendicular and the base, the sum of the square of the perpendicular and base will be equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Yes, what is that? Huh? Oh. Okay, now I am just explaining again that formulas, how it is coming. Now what is the AB? You can write, this one is perpendicular, base is B, H is hypotenuse. We have taken like this. Now AB is what? P square, BC is B square, AC is A square. So I am just replacing this side by that letter I have taken, that is perpendicular, P for perpendicular, that base, that is B, and H for hypotenuse. Now if I go for the first formula, that is relation between that sine square and cos square, now you have to find out the sine theta from here. Now what is sine theta? That is already I have given that, discussed before, that is sine theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now what is cos theta? That is base by hypotenuse. Then what is, okay, you need all these two only. Now if you divide that left hand side and right hand side by a square, so what will get? P square by a square plus B square by a square, that is equal to a square by a square. You can divide both sides, that is left hand side and the right hand side, by a square, because I want to prove that formula, sine square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1, that first formula. So now P by H, will be whole square, because square is there on both. The b by h whole square, square is on the both, then this is a square by a square, it will be 1. Now what is b by h? That is sin theta. So that is sin square theta plus b by h, that is cos square theta, that is equal to 1. And the rest of the ratios, that is cosec theta, sec theta, that one you have to just memorize. Then how means that these ratios are there in the that formula. But this relation you can find out by yourself. Similarly, you can find out for this one. Already I have shown previously, that is tan square theta plus 1, that is equal to sec square theta. So whatever that relation is there with the squares of that ratios, you can find it by yourself. Which one you require, you just see that ratio and you just divide by the that means whatever that letters are there. So according to that one only, that ratio will be coming out. So you can just write by yourself also. It is there in the book. You can see that is already done in the page number 240 in your book. So you can just see the diagram also given there. I think it's clear to you. Now let me go back for that previous question, that is question number 1. So already I have told that the longer side will be the hypotenuse, and the side opposite to this given angle, that is x, that is the perpendicular, and the third side which is making the angle with the hypotenuse, that is the base. So P is the base, R is the hypotenuse, and Q is the perpendicular. So now according to this one, you can find out that Roman number 1, 2 and 3. Now what is the Roman number 1? Sin x. Sin x. Now what is the ratio sin? That is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So because you are learning for the first time, so you just better write down P by h, that is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now what is the perpendicular here? That is the value given here, Q. Now what is the hypotenuse? The value given here is R. So that is Q by R. I think it's clear to you. So if you take sin x, that means what is the ratio? That is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now in the given figure, if you already find out, that is Q is the perpendicular and what is the hypotenuse? That is R. So you can write it down, Q by R. So that is the sin x. Now similarly, you can find out for tan x, tan, what is the tan ratio? That is perpendicular by base. So that is perpendicular by base. Now in the given diagram, whatever you got that perpendicular, that is Q, that is small q, that is denoted by small q. Now what is the base? That is denoted by P. So that means tan x is given by the ratio Q by P. Now one more is there, that is Roman number 3. Roman number 3, that is sec x. So I'll just show that one also, that is sec x. How to find out the sec x? Now to find out these ratios, actually you have to find out, first of all you have to memorize those formulas. Without the formulas you cannot find out these values. You have to know that formula, you have to replace that value from that given diagram, then only you can find out the answers. Now sec x. Now sec is what? The reciprocal of cos. Now what is cos? That is base by hypotenuse. Now sec is the reciprocal of cos, so it will be hypotenuse by, this will be hypotenuse by base. So this is the reverse of cos theta. So it will be what? It will be R by P, small r by P, because hypotenuse, what is the value here? R. Now base, what is the value here? P. So yeah. Okay, now just see this one again. Now you can understand or it or not.
Take their names, Dr. Shi.
Yeah, Saptarshi, then
Sakhar and Johnny. Did you understand?
Shakhar and Joni. Have you understood it? Just see, check it whether you have understood it or not. Because you are learning this formula for the first time, so you have to understand that how that means that values are coming. Actually, you have to know that formula first. You have to know the ratio. What is sin x, cos x, then what is tan x, then you have to know what is cos x, then sec x, and cot x. These are the 6 formulas. These are the main 6 formulas. Then only you go for the rest of the formulas. These are the main formulas. So you can understand these formulas, how to apply it. Actually, you have to apply the formula. The formula you have to memorize it. Actually, the formula is given just like a formula only, but you have to memorize it. The ratio, how it is coming, you have to memorize it. Then you have to apply it in the sum. How to get these values? Is it clear to all of you? Just check it. So actually main thing is that you have to go for that, how to find out that perpendicular, then base, then for hypotenuse it is the longest side. So for perpendicular it will be the side opposite to the given angle. For which angle you are opting for here? For angle x. Now what is the opposite side? That is q here. That is the perpendicular. Now longest side already I have told, that is the hypotenuse. Now other than perpendicular and hypotenuse, the third side will be the base, that is P, or you can say the third side, the leftover side which is making the angle with the hypotenuse, that will be base. Or in the more easier way you can say, means after finding out the perpendicular and hypotenuse, the leftover, that third side, it will be the base. So once you find out what is the perpendicular and base, then and hypotenuse, it will be easy to find out that values from the formulas. You have to apply the formula only. But before that, you have to know which one is the perpendicular, base and hypotenuse for the given sum. Is it clear to you? Yeah. Now, do you have any question? Anyone? If you have got any question?
Lagnajita, please explain again.
Okay.
Ask Lagnajita.
Yeah. Lagnajita, which one you cannot understand? Which part of this? I have done this Roman number 1, 2, 3. Which one you cannot understand? Okay, now just let me just explain it again in brief. First of all, you have to go for this given angle, that is x, which where it is given x here. Now opposite to the x, what is the side? That is the perpendicular. That is the first one you find out. Okay. Now the longest side is the hypotenuse for all right angle triangle. It will not be changed. Yes. Then base, that is the third side. Other than perpendicular and hypotenuse, the base will be the third side. So it is easy to find out the base once you find out the perpendicular and the hypotenuse. Okay. Now then you have to go for the formula. Actually this formula you have to memorize. What is the sin theta, then cos theta, sec theta, then tan theta. All these formulas are there in the book also. So that formula first you have to memorize, then only apply the formula from the given figure. You write down those values. Now sin x, perpendicular by hypo. Now here what is the perpendicular? That q, it is denoted by q. Then hypotenuse, what is the hypotenuse here? R. So q by r. Now next, if you go for the tan x, that is perpendicular by base. That is the formula.
Question number 3.
Yeah. Okay. Now you see the question number 2 properly. Tan x means what? Perpendicular by base. Now from the given diagram, you see which is the perpendicular? Q. So perpendicular is replaced by Q. Then base. What is the base here? P. So there is Q by P. So from there only tan x, that value is coming. The values are actually coming out from that given diagram. The formula you have to by heart. This is the formula. This is the formula. And for the third one, this is the formula. These are the formulas. So this one you have to memorize. Then you have to replace the value. Now if you go for the third one, that is sec x. Now what is the ratio? That is hypotenuse by base. Now hypotenuse. Now you see the longest side, that is r. Okay, so you replace r here from the diagram only. Then base, what is the base here? P. So that is r by p. So that is sec x. So before doing these sums and all, you have to see that formulas given in the book. You have to memorize those formulas, then only go for doing those sums, because without formula you not be able to understand it. Main thing is the formula. You have to understand that formula, then you have to apply it. You have to memorize the formulas. I think is it clear to you? Question next. Question number. Now question number this one, the Roman number 2, 10x. Now what is the ratio 10x? Perpendicular by base. There is the formula. Perpendicular by base, I am not just writing it, but it is from the formula only. Perpendicular by base, that is the ratio, that is the formula. Now in the diagram, if you see the diagram, what is the perpendicular? Q. Is not that? What is the perpendicular value here? Q. That is denoted by letter Q. Then by base. Now base, what is the letter it is denoted by? That is P. That is Q by P. So that is the ratio 10x, perpendicular by base. Is that clear to you? Now just check it. Actually you have to, first of all, what I have told in the beginning only, that main thing is that you have to find out the which one is the perpendicular, which one is the base, and which is the hypotenuse. So if it is clear to you how to find out that perpendicular, how to find out hypotenuse, how to find out the base, then you can do any sum. You can do any sum from that exercise or from whatever is given. Okay?
Why Q is like root sign?
Why?
Why Q is like root sign? Last Q is not clear.
Okay, this is small q, so you can just write it down. That is small q only. Small q, that is this denoted by q here only. You can find out from here only. That is q perpendicular, then by base, that is p. Now see, it's clear to you, because this is the first sum. It is very much important. If you can understand the first sum, you can understand all the rest, because this is all similar only. First to find out the what is the perpendicular. That is the side opposite to the angle x here. What is the angle given here in the diagram? X. Now what is the side opposite to that angle x? That is q. So this will be the perpendicular. Is it clear to you? Now all of you know that in the right angle triangle, the longest side is what? Hypotenuse. So this is very easy to find out hypotenuse. Now the third side, it will be the base. Now once you know which one is the perpendicular, which one is the base, which one is the hypotenuse, then you can apply the formulas. If you memorize the formulas, then you can replace the values. So you see that it is clear or not, because the first sum is very much important, because you have to understand from the first sum itself. If it is clear to you, you can do all the rest. It will be very easy, because main thing is that to find out the perpendicular, base and hypotenuse. Is it clear? You will understand slowly, because this is the new one for you, this new chapter, because you don't know that formula yet. Is not that? You have to by heart that formula. You have to understand how it is coming from the given diagram and all. Then only you can apply in the question to find out the answers. I hope it's clear to you. Now, if it is clear to you, then let's go for the next sum. Okay, now let's take this question number 6. from your book, that is question number 6. What is given here? Given tan theta that is equal to 8 by 15. Now what is the question? If tan theta equal to 8 by 15, find the values of other trigonometrical ratios. Okay, so you have to find out the other one. Now in order to find out the other one, you have to know the formula, isn't that? Now first of all, what is tan theta? You have to know what is tan theta. Now tan theta, already I have given the formula, then you can see in the book also it is written there. The ratio is given by perpendicular by base. I have written in short, that is PRP, that is perpendicular in short, that is 8 by 15. Now you can draw the diagram to find out the other ratios, or without drawing also you can do, but better it is to draw the diagram. So now if I take the right angle triangle, that is A, B, C, say this angle is theta. Say the given angle is theta, because tan theta, given angle is here theta. Now what is that formula? Actually is coming from formula, perpendicular base. It will not be given in the question, it is from the formula only. So you have to apply the formula first. So that's why I told that you have to know the formula properly, you have to memorize, then we go for the applying this formula. Now perpendicular, now which one will be the perpendicular? What is the given angle? Theta. Now which is the opposite side? AB is the opposite side to this theta. Let me draw that arrow so you can understand it. Theta is the given angle, the opposite side is what? That is AB. So AB is the perpendicular. Now what is the value given? That is 8. So let me write it here, perpendicular, that is value is given 8. Let me write in bracket, that is 8. Value is given 8. Now by base, now which is the hypotenuse? This is the longest side. So there is the hypotenuse. Longest side is the hypotenuse, there is the AC. Then if you can find out the what is the perpendicular hypotenuse, then that is the easy for to find out the base. Now BC will be the base, that is base. So what is the value given here? 15. Is it clear? Now let me repeat again. Tan theta is equal to 8 by 15. Now what is tan theta? Perpendicular by base. From here it is coming from formula. Okay. Now you draw diagram to find out the other ratio, because it is perpendicular by base given. So suppose this angle theta given here, from here only you have taken. Now if you draw this diagram, now from this diagram you have to find out first which one is the perpendicular. Now what I told in the beginning also, that the side opposite to the that given angle, that is theta, that will be the perpendicular. So first you go for the perpendicular. So this is the perpendicular. Is that clear to you? This is the perpendicular. Now go for the longest side in the diagram or in any right angle triangle. Which side will be the longest side? That is the hypotenuse. So you see that AC is the longest side, is not that? AC is the hypotenuse. Now what is the leftover side? That is BC. So BC will be the base. Is that clear to you? Because first of all you have to find out which one is the perpendicular, which one is the base, and which is the hypotenuse. If you draw a diagram, first of all that is your work. Now what is the question given? You have to find out the other ratios. Now you can take one by one. Tan theta is already given, so you can go for the other rest. So one by one we can take. That is first one, I will take sin theta. Sin theta, that is in the formula it was perpendicular by hypotenuse. That formula already given, that is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now you see in the diagram which is the perpendicular, that is 8. Is it? And now hypotenuse. Now for this hypotenuse you have to go for the Pythagoras theorem. So you can do one thing, by the side if use the Pythagoras theorem, AC square equal to AB square plus BC square. This is the Pythagoras theorem, already I have told in the beginning. Now you have to find out what? Hypotenuse, that is AC. So in place of AC, let me write H square. Okay. In place of AB, I write 8. The value is how much you got here in the question? Perpendicular is 8. 8 square. Now base is how much? 15. 15 square. For what we are doing this? Actually to find out the hypotenuse, because it is missing here. Hypotenuse is not given in the diagram. You see in the diagram, it's not given. Is not that? Only the perpendicular and the base is given. Hypotenuse is not given. Is not that? Can you understand? Okay. Now, if you use the Pythagoras theorem, a square equal to p square plus b square. So a square, that is hypotenuse square, you have to find out. So a square equal to, now if you take the square of 8, how much you will get? 64. Is not that? 64 plus 15 square, that is how much? 225. 225. Now implies 8 square equal to, if you add up together, how much you will get? 289. Is not that? Now if you take 8, that is square root of 289. That means, what is the square root of 289? That is 17. So that means hypotenuse is how much? What is the value of hypotenuse? That is 17. That is 17 unit. So you can write it down now. That is 17 unit. Is that clear to you? Because you need hypotenuse here in this ratio. You are given only perpendicular and base. You are not given the hypotenuse. You have to find out the hypotenuse first, then only go for that this ratios. Is it clear to you? Now you got from the diagram, that is hypotenuse. How much it is? 17. So you can replace the value here, 17. Is it? Now you can go for the rest. Those ratios are left over. So that is what? Cos theta, that is base by hypotenuse. That is the formula. Now what is the base value? 15. What is the hypotenuse value? 17. 15 by 17. Is it clear to you? Cos theta base by hypo. That means, what is the value of base? That is 15. What is the hypotenuse value? That is 17. That is from the diagram. That triangle already find out hypotenuse is 17. So you can apply it to find out the other ratios. Now what are leftover ratios? There are more ratios are there. Although there are 6 main ratios. So I'll just wrap this portion how it is coming from that, or I'll just write down this side. That is number 3. You can go for tan theta. No, already tan theta you got. Now you can go for cosec theta. Cosec theta means what? You take the reciprocal of the sin theta, means hypo by perpendicular. So you just make it reverse, means it will come in the numerator and it will be going in the denominator. So it will be 17 by 8. What is cosec theta? That is hypotenuse by perpendicular. So you are replacing the value of hypotenuse is how much? 17. How much is the perpendicular? 8. Is that? So that is hypotenuse by perpendicular. You can find out from the diagram also that how much is that value of that this perpendicular, base and hypotenuse. So you can just replace it. Now next you can go for the sec theta. Sec theta, that is the reciprocal of theta. That means what? It will be hypo by base, hypotenuse by base. So what is the value of hypotenuse? That is 17. Now what is the base? Value of base, that is how much is the value? Give it there, just see properly, 15. Okay, or you can just see it from here also, just reverse of the theta, that is sec theta. Okay, the reciprocal. Okay, it will be reciprocal. That means 1 by cos theta is sec theta. Then one more ratio, that is cot theta. Again cot theta, already I have given that formula in the beginning. That is reciprocal of tan theta. Reciprocal of tan theta is how much? that is cot theta. So what is the reciprocal? It will be 15 will be in the numerator and 8 will be in the denominator. So that is 15 by 8. Now you see properly whether you can understand it or not. From the given ratio, first of all you write down what is the given ratio, that is tan theta perpendicular, that is 8 by 15. Now you draw the diagram. Now which side is missing? Here hypotenuse is missing. So you find out by Pythagoras theorem. You can find out the side which is not given by the Pythagoras theorem. Suppose if perpendicular is not given, by using hypotenuse and base, the given two sides, you can find out the unknown side, that is third side, you can find it out. So this way you can find out the other ratio also. So first of all sin theta I have taken, that is perpendicular by hypotenuse, that is from the diagram, that is perpendicular value is how much? 8, hypotenuse value is how much? 17. So 8 by 17. Again cos theta, base by hypotenuse. So what is the value of base here? See in the diagram, that is 15. You can see from here also, or from the diagram also you can see 15. Now to find out the hypotenuse, you have to use the Pythagoras theorem. So by the Pythagoras theorem is very applicable, very much applicable in the trigonometry. So you have to apply this formula. Then you are going for the cosec theta, reciprocal of the sin theta. Then sec theta, that is reciprocal of the cos theta. Yeah, you can give, someone has asked whether you can give in place of this one theta any angle, but whatever is given in the question, say in the question it is given, you see the question number 6, that is given in is theta, so that's I've written theta. Okay, if it is other angle, I could have given other angle also. Okay, actually that how the different values, say 10, 30 value, that is 1 by root 3, how it is coming you will be seeing in the next exercise. Okay, but it is actually the beginning. This is the basic of the formulas. We are applying the all the basic formulas, application of the basic of the all these trigonometrical ratio formulas. So that's why it is just with the whatever the angle given there, we are taking this one. If this given angle is suppose other than this one, say there will be 10a, so in the diagram you have to write a. Is that clear? Say suppose 10b, then in the diagram you have to write b. Okay, so according to that one only, then according to the question only, the diagram also will be changed. Is it clear? Suppose 10a, so I could have written this one here a, this one b, then this one will be c. So according to the given angle, that is I have to draw the diagram, or you have to draw the diagram. But without drawing diagram also you can do it by using that square formula. But in that square formula, if you don't do the calculation properly, if there is any mistake in any place, then there will be a mistake, that whole sum will be wrong. So better you draw the diagram, then you go for this that Pythagoras theorem, because you have to apply the Pythagoras theorem. Without Pythagoras theorem you cannot find out the other sides. Without Pythagoras theorem you cannot find out that unknown side. Here is the unknown side is what? That is hypotenuse. So you use the Pythagoras theorem. So after Pythagoras theorem, I apply the ratio, what are that formula given in that that to find out that ratios. So I apply those formulas. Now just see, is clear to you, to all of you? All of you do one thing. Today you just started this chapter, so but after seeing this today's lesson, you just before that starting the lesson, you by heart those formulas, memorize those formula, try to understand, then how to apply those formula. You have to learn it first, then only go for the doing those sums.
Give one simple sum so that they will do an answer.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I just give one this one sum, so that you can just find out third side. Suppose this is just question only. Okay, so suppose you take this diagram. Now if you see this diagram, say this is given, here it is given, okay, 15, say this is 17. Now if you don't know this, what is AB, perpendicular, now how to find out this one? Because in some ratios you need the perpendicular also, not only the base and hypotenuse. This is the perpendicular because this side is opposite to the that given angle theta. That's why it is a perpendicular. So this one already I have explained. Now the longest side is the hypotenuse. Longest side is the hypotenuse. Then base is what? 15. Suppose this is given, just simple question. Now how to find out the AB? How to find out the perpendicular? Now what is the, to find out the unknown side, always you have to go for that Pythagoras theorem. So you apply this Pythagoras theorem. What is the Pythagoras theorem? AB square plus BC square equal to AC square. This is the Pythagoras theorem. Now AB is unknown, so AB square. BC is how much? 15. See the diagram? BC is 15, that is whole square. Now AC, what is AC here? 17. Okay. Now AB square equal to 17 square minus 15 square. Do transposition, because here plus sign, it will be minus sign here. That is called transposition. I think all of you know. You have done the equation chapter also. The linear equation already you have done in class 8. So that is transposition. So it will become plus to minus. Is it clear? Now AB square equal to, now 17 square is how much? 289. 17 square means what? 17 into 17. What is the value? 289. Then 15 square means what? 225. That is 15 into 15. Is it clear? Now you have to find out what? AB, not AB square. So that is, first go for AB square. So if you subtract, how much you will get? You will get 64. 289 minus 225, how much it is? 64. Now AB will be how much? That is root over 64. Now square root of 64 is how much? 8. Now you see that what is the AB? That is perpendicular. So what is the value of perpendicular? That is 8. This is the perpendicular. So similar way you can find out the base also. Suppose the hypotenuse is given, perpendicular is given, you don't know what is the base, you can find out the base. So I have just taken the reference of the previous sum, so that you can apply this same formula, Pythagoras theorem, for the other sum also, to find out the unknown side. So you have to apply the Pythagoras theorem to find out the unknown side. Is it clear to you? For this example, I found out the perpendicular. There may be other one, you have to find out the base. So you apply the same theorem, that is Pythagoras theorem, then replace the value, do transposition, then find out the base, then apply the formula. See, in a given triangle, always two sides will be given. It is not that only one side will be given, other two sides you have to find out. So in that ratio, what is the ratio? Ratio is that division of two numbers. Is not that? There cannot be one number in the ratio. Is not that? Always ratio will be the division of two numbers. So two values will be given. Then you have to find out the third unknown value. So in the other sum also it is like that. You have to apply that Pythagoras theorem. You have to know that formula first. You have to memorize the formula. Then you go for the application of the formulas. Since you are doing for the first time, you have to see it properly. You have to know the formula, memorize the formula, and you have to practice at home also. You see the similar example in the book, and you have to do it. Oh, okay. Now let me give you another one more, just one sum I will give you. You just do it by yourself. Same diagram I will take so that you are not confused. So this is A, B, C. So this angle is theta. Now suppose this is given 17 and this is given 8. Now you have to find out this one. Now all of you try to do it and find out the value of BC. Can you just do it? Just see. Just try it. Apply the formula. Apply the Pythagoras theorem and replace the value and find out the unknown value, that is BC. Find out the unknown value BC and you have to tell what is BC, whether it is a perpendicular or it is a base. Let me see whether you can find it out or not, because that is very important, whether BC is a base or perpendicular. First of all, you find out the
Sir, 15 is the correct answer. Base 15.
yeah.
Then giving the answer.
Okay, now you have to tell whether it is a perpendicular or base. I think many of you got the answer. I will not tell the answer, you just got the answer. Then I will tell at last, I will tell what is the correct answer, but you tell me whether it is a base or perpendicular. Then I think then it will be clear to you whether it will be base or perpendicular. Then this part is very much important. This is very, very important. From the beginning I am telling that to identify the base and perpendicular or the given diagram, it is very, very important. If you can, once you can understand this one, you can do all the sum. It is not hard, it is very easy. Very, very easy. Only you have to apply the formula of the Pythagoras theorem. You are in class 9, all of you know how to square it, how to do the transposition, how to find out the square root. All of you are good in doing all these calculations. You have done from class 6 onwards. You just tell me what is that BC, whether it is a perpendicular or it is a base. Once you can understand it, that means that this much understanding is very complete. You could understood it. I think that it already it is understandable by you. Many of you, I think, got the value, that is BC. Now you have to tell whether it is a base or perpendicular. There is another part. First part is find out the value of BC, then tell whether it is a base or perpendicular. Whether it is a base or perpendicular. Just tell me. Then I can go for the another question. Until it is clear which one is the base and the perpendicular, you will not understand other questions also then.
They are implying base 15. They
Yes.
are implying
Yeah.
base 15.
Yeah, many of them are on. Yeah, on. Yeah, this concept is clear. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, I think all of you got it. This correct value. So the base is 15. I think you know this how to calculate. Already I have done it. 15 unit, and this is the base. Base is 50. It's not a perpendicular. Now I think you can understand it. Why it is not a perpendicular? Which is the perpendicular? This is the perpendicular, because this side is opposite to the angle theta. Is it clear to you? This is perpendicular. Perpendicular. This is the base. So 15 is the base. Okay. So this is one, that concept is very clear. Then only you go for doing the other sums. So I think all of you have done is corrected. That is value is 15 and base is this is the base only. Okay. Now let's go for the another sum. This is actually what I told. If you can do one sum, you can do all the rest of the sum from this exercise. This is all similar. Only you have to replace the value. That's all. You have to practice at home also. If you just sit idle at home, you will not be able to complete the syllabus. Since you are in class 9, yeah. Since you are in class 9, you have to practice, because you have a final exam in the month of November. So it's not that only one chapter will be there, whole book will be there. So you have to take care of your studies also. So practice at home also. Okay. Now next, let me take another sum. So once you understand this one, it will be easy for you to let me take this one, that is number 11. Question number 11 from your book. Just see it. What is given there?
Student is asking, will perpendicular always be opposite of theta?
Oh, yeah. Now you see, perpendicular will be always opposite to the given angle, whatever it is, whether theta, beta, gamma, whatever it is. Okay. So that whatever angle you are taking, specifying that angle, say angle B or angle A or angle C you are taking, whatever the angle given in the question, so opposite to that angle, that side, opposite to that angle, it will be always perpendicular. So that is the concept. Okay. Once you can understand perpendicular, then to find out the base, it is very easy, because hypotenuse is the longest side in the that right angle triangle. You can find out the what is the longest side. It's not that by looking the diagram only or by seeing the value which is the longest side. It's not that. Now number 11. Given 13 sin theta equal to 5. Now if to find out the value of 5 sin theta minus this from the book only, 5 sin theta minus 2 cos theta by tan theta. There is a question. Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. First one. Okay. Now 13 sin theta, it is equal to 5. This is given in the question only. Please check the question. 13 sin theta equal to 5. Now sin theta equal to 5 by 13. Here it is multiplication. If it goes this side, it will be division. I think you know what is that cross multiplication. Is not that? If you cross multiply again, you will get the this step again. You will get the reverse back that step if you multiply crosswise. So this side it is a multiplication, and in the next step it will be division by the other side. So it will be that 5 by 13. Is that clear to you? So this is very important. Okay, don't write 13 by 5. Some of the students, just by looking this one, you don't see properly, you just write 13 by 5. Then the whole sum will be wrong, because you don't not writing the ratio properly. So 13 sin theta equal to 5. So this side it is into multiplication, but we don't write into, but you can understand it is into multiplication. So this side, if it is multiplication, in the next step if you do, then it will be division on the other side. In the left hand side it is multiplication, when it goes in the right hand side it will be division. It will be divided by this 5 by 13. Is it clear? Now sin theta, now you can draw the diagram, you can find it out. Without diagram also you can do, but you have to apply that square formula. Okay, so better you do it by drawing diagram, because already you know how to find out that those other sides by Pythagoras theorem. Now if you draw the diagram, this angle will be theta. Now I will take this one, say A, B, C. So this is 90 degree. Now what is sin theta? That ratio is perpendicular by hypotenuse, that is 5 by 13. Now if you take this diagram, which will be the perpendicular? This will be the perpendicular. This is the opposite to this angle theta. So this will be 5. Then hypotenuse, this is the longest side. Then leftover side is BC. Now you have to find out BC first. Okay. In order to find out that cos theta, tan theta, you have to find out what is cos theta also. So now from this given diagram, if you use the Pythagoras theorem, AB square plus BC square equal to AC square. AB square plus BC square equal to AC square. Now you replace the value of known side. What are the known side? AB and AC. BC is unknown. So what is the value of AB? That is 5. So 5 square plus BC square equal to AC square. What is the value of AC given? 13. That is 13 square. Is it clear? You draw the diagram. So according to the ratio, you replace the value. P, that is perpendicular. In short, I have written P. This is hypotenuse. So it is 5 by 13. Now what is the value of perpendicular here? You can put in the diagram. That is 5. Now what is the value of hypotenuse? That is 13. So this is the hypotenuse and this is the perpendicular. So already you know how to identify which one is the perpendicular, which one is the base. Now it will be easy to you to replace the value in the diagram. Is not that? Is it clear to you? So the side opposite to this angle, given angle. What is the given angle here? Theta. So the theta opposite this side, that is AB. Which is the side opposite to this angle theta, that is AB. So that is perpendicular. So this is perpendicular, and this is base, and this is the hypotenuse. Now you can write down here this one. This is base. You can find out the answer later on. So this is how much you get? 5 square is 25 plus BC square equal to 169. Is that? 5 square means 5 into 5, that is 25. BC square equal to 13 square means what? 13 into 13, that is 169. Is that clear to you? Now you need to find out what? BC. So BC square equal to, what will do now? Transposition. Because you cannot keep this number here, you have to take in the other side, because you have to find out the value of BC. So 169 minus 25. So transposition, you have to do the transposition. Is not that? Is it clear to you? This is plus sign here, is not that? 25 means what? Plus 25. So when it goes to the right hand side, it becomes minus, plus to minus. Is that clear? Now that is equal to BC square equal to 144. 169 minus 25, how much it is? 144. Is that? Now BC equal to root over 144, that is equal to 12. So what is the value of base? Base, that is BC equal to 12. Now you can find out that other ratio, and you can replace the value there and find out that value altogether. Now you see whether you understood or not. Whatever the value is given, that only you replace in the diagram. You draw the diagram, replace it, then find out the third unknown one by using the Pythagoras theorem, then go for doing the sum, main part. First of all, what is your work? What is the ratio given? According to that one, that sin theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So that is 5 by 13 given in the book. Now what is the value of perpendicular? That is 5 unit. Actually this is 5 unit, maybe centimeter, millimeter. Okay. The hypotenuse is how much? 13. That is 13 units. Now which one is the unknown?